This guy turned 1 ETH into 100 ETH. If you're not familiar with what that is, 1 Ethereum into 100 Ethereum, flipping NFTs. And then he became a prop farmer, an algorithmic trader. And he's now been funded over $950,000. His name is Prit. He's been one of the most successful and helpful members inside of our community. He's amazing. In this video, he shares really interesting insight about his journey to getting funded like $1 million worth of trading capital. And he's actually been so successful that we just recently this week hired him as a success coach. So he's helping coach some of our members as well. You're not going to want to miss this video because he shares all of his secrets to success, exactly what he's done in order to achieve this level of success. So really quickly, tell us about the backstory, like where are you from? And then what is it that you were doing for a living before prop farming?
Sure. So I live in the UK, just 30 minutes outside of London. Before prop farming, I was trading NFTs. So I went from 1 ETH to 100 ETH in around 6 months, which was pretty crazy. So pretty
insane.
Yeah, pretty insane.
Just really quickly, what were you doing there? You're just when NFTs first started coming out, you kind of jumped on the train and.
Yeah. So I had experience with bots before, buying and selling shoes online. So what I done with NFTs, I kind of took that approach as well. So I got a NFT bot which bought the NFTs for me in their initial mint, which is kind of their retail sort of sale, first come first serve sale. So obviously with a bot you have quite an advantage. You can get loads at once and you can get it faster than people going manually. So what I was doing, I was just buying them in mass, like 20, 30, 40 NFTs, just buying them for the retail price and then reselling them within 24 hours for a higher price. So I was just constantly just flipping. That was pretty much it. And then after NFTs, because I had so much money left over, I kind of just went back into trading. I done Forex trading for a year before NFTs, but never became profitable. But then, so I actually, because of NFTs, I realized psychology was a huge thing in trading. And I realized it would take me way too long to do that if I was manually trading, to get the discipline and the trading plan and things like that. So I started looking into EAs and I actually found you guys on YouTube. And then it's been crazy since then, the amount of success Titans brought me.
We're gonna talk about that in just a second. So even before that, you were, because people don't know about the sneaker industry, right? But they'll have like these limited releases and they sell out like really, really quickly. So you're buying these really rare shoes and you had a bot set up to go in there and buy them up real quick and then you're reselling them. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I had a bot just the same as NFTs to buy them in bulk faster than people going manually, and then I'll just sell them on straight away. Yeah,
that's amazing. Okay, so got it. So you end up flipping from 1 ETH to, what'd you say, 100 ETH?
100 ETH, in 6 months.
So it's pretty insane, right? Like that whole mania that was happening with NFTs, you totally capitalize on. And then I kind of had the same realization too when I first got into trading. I was like, man, trading's really hard, And like, I also had this epiphany where I was like, I kind of believe that like, it seems like all the good traders are saying that you need to follow a trading system. You need to have trading rules. And so it was always my belief that, okay, if there's really strict rules that you're following, then why couldn't that just be programmed, right? And executed automatically. So you had been trading Forex a little bit, you never figured out. And then how did you come across this? You saw like a video or an ad or something?
Yeah, so I thought the prop farming idea myself. So I was looking for EAs on like the MT5 marketplace. And I was kind of looking for ones that had a specific max drawdown and make a certain amount a month, because I wanted to use them for prop firms, just so I could, sort of not gamble, but I could play the odds and kind of just get some payouts and some passes and things like that. But I never found one that was good enough. And just luckily a week after I thought that idea, I found you guys on YouTube and I saw your bot and I really liked the amount of features you had in it. It was totally unique because it was all circulated around prop firms. So
yeah. Were you trying to find a bot previously to pass prop firm challenges specifically, or just trying to find something to trade that ETH that you had? Okay, gotcha. So prop firms specifically. So in why prop firms, you just saw the risk to reward, like just
Yeah,
same sort of thing?
it was a risk reward because you know, no one really had an EA that had a track record for 5 years, you know, making 10% a month with a limited drawdown, for example. So I didn't want to risk my own money, you know, just in case if it just blew the account or something like that. It was a risk reward. You can make a lot more money risking a lot less with prop firms than you can trading your own live capital.
Yeah. So you said you thought of the prop farming idea before, like you just thought of this idea to build a bot to pass prop firm challenges, or you thought of the whole like leaderboard idea and kind of how that all works, or what?
So it was mainly just using an EA, playing the odds, like buying, let's say, 5 accounts and starting them a week after each other. You know, if only 1 out of 5 passes, but then I make a 10% payout from it, it pays for all the other challenges and some profits. So that was kind of the idea that I was going for. So it's a little bit similar to what you guys are doing.
Right. Okay, gotcha. So you come across our video on YouTube or something, you end up getting on board, and then talk me through the journey. Like, was it just, you know, gold right away, or did you have some struggles, or like, tell me some of the numbers and stuff that's happened.
For sure. So I joined at the start of the year in January. So I've just been doing it for 7 months now. Initially, when I first started, you know, just because I was getting used to everything, I failed a couple challenges, you know, because I was getting grips with the strategies and the bots, and like, you know, I manually intervened a little bit, let emotions get the better of me.
Manually intervened a little bit, huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I had some failed challenges, and then I got my first funded account. I actually lost that as well, again, due to me manually intervening. So I lost 2 trades in a row, and then I changed the strategy for the last trade. So again, that was a little bit of manual intervention. But then after that, I kind of started to take it a little bit seriously. I started to backtest a lot more. I used to learn the strategies a bit better and tailor them around, you know, kind of my psychology and what I can deal with myself. So I didn't manually intervene. And then since then.
And so when you were backtesting, were you using the MTP tool that we created, or were you just doing it through MT5 or?
Exactly. So I was using the MTP tool. That was something when I saw a YouTube video when I was buying into Blue Edge. I was like, that alone is worth the money to me, because I was doing that manually before, and it just saved so much time. So yeah, I was mainly using that.
Gotcha. So you start backtesting, you really understand the tool. You're kind of configuring it, you know, based on what the MTP was telling you. And
exactly, yeah.
And so what happened? Then you get another funded account, or what? What
so something just clicked once I started testing everything myself, and I started trusting the data. I didn't manually intervene. Then I just started going on a crazy spree of getting funded accounts and payouts. So initially, after my first funded account got failed, the next sort of batch that I got, I had 950k in funded accounts.
Okay, so hold on. So, I mean, how does that just happen? That doesn't just like, oh, you just all of a sudden get 950k. Like, I mean, what was the strategy? We were taking one every week, taking multiple every week. What prop firm were you using? Tell us a little bit of the details.
So I started with Tree Forex funds. So the way I was doing it, just because I made a load of money from NFTs and I kind of trusted in the bot, I was buying like 200k accounts at a time, and I was doing 1 to 2 a week on the weekly strategies, which only take a trade once a week. I just found them to be a lot more consistent and things. So
the weekly strategies or the daily? Sorry.
The weeklies is what I started on. So yeah, essentially they never failed after I, you know, made the strategies myself and optimized them and back tested them. So yeah, I passed. I think it was, I got max allocation at True Forex funds to 400k, and then I had 400k at my Forex funds, and then I had 150k at another prop firm. I think it was Surge Trader. I was just trying something new with a random firm, and yeah, all of them hit the 2% target that I was just going for the first payout. So that paid off all my challenges. I got my challenge fee back. It paid off, you know, the cost for Titan, and then some profits. And then I used them profits to buy a lot more accounts in the future.
Yeah, gotcha. And so yeah, I mean, you're trading 950k. It's not like you have to do a crazy percent on that to make some pretty decent money, right? So you make that money, you're in the green, you're at that point. I mean, what are you feeling? Like, what's going through your head?
It was pretty crazy because I haven't been funded before, and I know the statistics of funded traders. So actually, only 3% of people who take a challenge get funded and receive their payout.
Yeah.
So it was crazy to be, to basically 1 million funded and to get a payout in just a couple months of using the bot. That's like completely just going against all the probabilities of a trader.
Yeah, for sure. And what happens after that? Like,
I lost.
I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, sure. So I did lose that million a month later. I just went on the massive losing streak. I was using the same strategy on each account. I didn't diversify at that point, so I lost all of my accounts at once.
Is that a learning lesson? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, now with my accounts, I use like 2 or 3 different strategies across them, just to diversify and make sure I don't lose them all at once. And I'm getting paid every week basically because there's some diversity there.
So that's interesting because you go through this super high, right? Getting $1 million nearly, and then, oh crap, I don't have any. Like, what's going through your head at that point?
Yeah, I mean, because I've made the payouts, I weren't too worried because I was in the green, and I kind of understood because of you are going to fail sometimes, but the thing is with Titan, you win a lot more than you lose. Just like we were talking about before, the risk to reward with prop firms. A challenge is so cheap, but a payout can cover like 5 to 10 challenges worth of cost. So I was a bit sad obviously because I just had lost $1 million in funding, but I weren't too down about it because I was in the green and I understood the probabilities and I had the psychology to kind of go through it and just start again and start some new accounts.
And so what, you just go back and you're taking 200K challenges again, or you go for 100K, or what's the deal?
Yeah, so I started off with 100K. I actually switched to dailies at this point just because after...
Okay. And sorry, I just got to interrupt. So for people that are watching this, maybe, we have weekly and daily strategies. Basically, the weekly strategies, they'll start at the beginning of the trading week. Daily strategies, they'll start at the beginning of each day. So they'll trade more frequently. Continue.
Yeah, so at this point, I swapped to dailies just because of my experience with weeklies. Obviously, I had that million, but I lost it slowly over a month. And then because I wasn't taking any challenges because I was kind of maxed out at that point. I just had wasted a month essentially. So I wanted to switch to dailies just so I can churn through the accounts a bit faster. So I swapped to dailies and I used my profits. So I bought 1.3 million in accounts from my profits from the first million funded. And I kind of staggered them and I took them like every 2 or 3 days. I started the challenge. And I done that 2 weeks ago, and to this day right now 550k has been funded and 750k is in phase 2, so none have failed and all are in phase 2 or funded, and I've secured 2 to 4% on all of that 550k already as well.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Got you. So you're on the way to maybe having another $1 million in funding, or 1.3 million. So what's going to be the strategy moving forward? Like, what did you learn from this big win and then the big crash? Like, what did you learn, and what's the strategy moving forward?
I think what I learned is definitely have a probability mindset that you can lose accounts, but you can also cover the costs and more just from one payout from a successful account. So I think going forward, I'm just going to be taking challenges, regularly, just so if I do lose an account, backup accounts. And I'm just going to go for, like a 4 to 8% TP, kind of like as if I was taking the challenge, because I kind of noticed that, if you go for a low percent every week, let's say you do fail, I could have probably made double to triple the money if I was going for the higher percentages on them good weeks that the bot was working really great, and I would have had a lot more profits and a lot more money to play around with to buy more challenges after that. So I think just going forward, I'm going to kind of treat it kind of as if, you know, I was a casino and have the house edge. I'm just going to trust in the bot and just keep doing things regularly and going as I am, and hopefully it all works out good.
And will you continue to take more challenges, or you're going to say, hey, 1.3, I'm good, or is there a goal to get to, or tell me?
I'm just going to keep taking challenges. Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah, for sure. Like almost do as many as you can, huh?
Yep. As many as I can, as much funding as I can. Just going to keep on scaling up as much as I can, really.
Yeah. Cool. So in using this product, I mean, there's a lot to it, right? It's not just Titan X. There's a leaderboard, MTP. There's a community. There's, you know, the support, all this sort of stuff. What's like your favorite thing about the program, would you say?
I think my favorite thing is just the support from everyone, you know, not just the staff, but everyone in our community. I mean, we all talk in the chat daily. We help each other out. We teach each other things. You know, if someone's doing something a little different, you may learn something from them. And I think the point with Titan X and Blue Edge is kind of the community aspect, that everyone helps each other. It always keeps us on top of things and always have winning strategies and winning sort of methods to go about prop farming and things like that. So I think just because our community is so big and we're all helping each other out, I can see this, you know, lasting for a lifetime if we're all working on it together. I
don't know if I ever told you this, but that was kind of the idea. Like I was really into like into DeFi. I still keep up to date, and like was just this whole concept of like the power of decentralization. It's kind of like this brainchild that as I was like really deep into this, and I was like, it's so powerful. Like, what if we could just get all, instead of just all this pressure being on us to produce this bot that like works so good, I was like, well, what if we could just gather all the data from all the different people that are using it and back testing, and like, what if we just push that all into one central database to like, you know, to support the entire community like that. And it's almost like, you know, how any, you know, decentralized, you know, crypto network works, right? There's all these people that Bitcoin, right? There's all these people that have these, you know, mining rigs all over the place that are supporting this one central network, right? And so that was kind of the idea behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think if you, you know, not everyone in your company has the smartest minds, you know, in the world. So we get people coming into the community that have these different backgrounds and these different ideas that we may never have thought of, and it's just crazy to see like how the community's helping each other out and how we're continuously growing and getting better.
Yeah, for sure. What how do you see prop farming like fitting into your life in the future, and I guess ultimately what's the goal?
Well, I think ever since the first payout, you know, I kind of had it in my head that this is something that I would love to do for the rest of my life, and make it into like a, you know, my full-time career kind of thing, because we've seen people in our community, you know, making their yearly salaries in like 2 months. Is been crazy to see the success that people are having. And, you know, even myself, obviously I've had a lot of success, so I would really, you know, just love to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's amazing. Cool. And is this a product that you would recommend to people? And if so, who would you recommend it to?
100%. I haven't seen an EA that has this many features that could emulate, you know, trading strategies that someone could be doing manually, but execute it like a bot. I would definitely recommend it to people. I think I would only recommend it to people who are willing to put in a little bit of work and understand there's a learning curve to it. You know, It's not as simple as just joining, downloading the bot and starting, and off you go, you've funded $1 million. You know, that there is a little bit of a learning curve to it. But, you know, once you've learned it and it becomes like second nature to you, and, you know, it only takes up like 30 minutes of your day, you know, once you get used to everything. So, yeah.
Cool. Any last minute advice you give to anybody that's, you know, considering joining prop farming, or somebody that's, you know, in the community that's watching this video? Any advice you'd give them?
Yeah, I think consistency and discipline, you know, just like if you're manually trading, it is key, to start challenges every week, to, you know, keep that sort of as you guys described, to keep planting the seeds, and discipline to not manually interfere or change things, when you feel a bit emotional. Something I always say: if you're not, like a 7-figure funded trader manually, don't be manually interfering with the bot, because it probably knows better than you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people learn that lesson pretty quick.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? What do you think if we made because there's all these people that are doing it now in the community. What if we had an award or some special club? If you've been funded $1 million, you get to join this special club, you get this certain reward. Do you think that would be cool?
Yeah, that would be cool. We should get our own private chat, maybe.
Yeah, like a private chat, and then some cool plaque. You know how they have with YouTube when you get 1 million subscribers, you have the plaque.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for taking a second to chat with me, and keep us updated on your success.
No problem. We'll do. I should be thanking you.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you so much being in the group. You're super active and always helping people and bringing new ideas and whatnot. So it's people like you really that, make the product what it is. Like people like you and some of the other, members that really are geeking out on this, that's what really makes it work, So thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.